Okay. Okay, I had to reconvene. I was having some technical difficulties. I am continuing the video. I am reiterating on the fact that we as Aborigine Moors must start moving in the likeness of who we are, and that is moving in imperial status in every way that we can conduct ourselves and conduct our business. I am sharing and imparting with you all some of the ways and techniques spiritually and also intellectually and metaphysically that I've been able to unlock many doors that you all are just now learning about me. But I've been doing this for over a decade. One aspect that I would like to share with you that I had to realize in the last year that I have been on a daily basis building a spiritual relationship. Peace, my brother. Building a spiritual relationship with my ancestors and spirit guides that are so amped and ready at this time that we are walking into our next golden age as Aborigine Moors. It is so important to me to share with you all the knowledges and the spiritual awakening that I have been able to experience. And coming from a holistic point of view is what we are going to have to do to continue to see unsurmountable success. And in that holistic point of view is incorporating our ancient knowledges, our ancient rituals and hidden culture that has been hidden from us in all of the aspects of our lives. So a lot of Moors have encountered and continue to encounter issues of being quote unquote kidnapped or taken under duress, and many of us know that we do not have to appease or appear in their courts. Yet we have been placed under duress in most occasions just because of who we are and our names that we use. We are specifically, in most cases, targeted. So I'm here to share with you and impart some of the things and knowledges and spiritual, well-rounded, holistic ways of moving forward in our doings and in everything we do. And I call it operating in the imperial language, or moving as an Aborigine Moor on the land. Once you are seated with the knowings and the words of our ancestors, you will automatically eliminate fear. That's the main thing. We have to eliminate fear. 50% of everything we go through is a fear factor. That is their number one modus operandi, is to keep us paralyzed in fear. We have to get rid of the fear, family. And in knowledge comes power. It will eliminate fear. So I would like to share with you all a wealth of knowledge that has helped me get through many doors. And these are some simple things. You know, the spirit and God is so simple. we don't even realize the power we have. I have been forced and thrust into this last year of spiritual awakening in a way that I had never been before. So the Most High and the ancestors allowed certain things to happen to me to push me to my greater awareness in the spirit realm and in the spirit and a spiritual level. And many of us do not take this seriously, especially those of us who assert our rights as indigenous inhabitants. We are committing a form of warfare, so they consider it. When you send them something demanding your rights, when you send them papers, when you challenge them in any way, you are committing an act of war. We are practicing the art of war, and that's what they consider it as. So best believe they go into action. When they cannot beat us on the physical plane with their colorable laws in which they entrapped us in, adversely put us under duress most of the time during our travel. They put us under this state of duress, get us into the system, and then we have to work our way out of the system. And they put us in fear. So we will be forced by duress to sign a contract with them within the court system. They want to offer you all these pleas. You haven't done anything wrong. 99% of the time, a case is brought against you, or a ticket, or they have adversely grabbed you, detained you, and forced you into their court system under duress. It is only by your own agreement and acquiescence that they can move forward. That's why they push all these papers in front of you, and they tell you, okay, you need to plead to this, and you are in a state of fear because they threaten you. If you don't sign this, this will happen. If you don't plead this, you're going to get 5 years. We have to, 50% of everything that happens in our lives and that is presented to us is a fear factor. That is their number one power source over us. Once we get past the fear, 50% of it, you at the halfway mark. 50% of what they're doing to us is orchestrated by fear. Okay? And then the next 50%, the other 50%, if we move forward in our holistic ancestral power, going to the ancestors and going in prayer and meditation, clearing that path first, the matter is already settled. By the time we get there, or by the time we send them any papers, by the time we do any of that, the work is already done. This is the power source that we have to get back to. We have to have won the battle before we even lift a finger. Now, this revelation came to me rather late because I could smash them with my intellect. Being a real estate broker, being a real estate appraiser, mortgage lender, I done all these things before the age of 30, and I have every professional license there is practically in real estate and in financing. I was able to combat and beat them with my intellect. But there was a very important aspect that in this last solid year, I have been perfecting, and the Most High and the ancestors would not let me go any further without knowing this. Although I've been smashing them with my intellect, but now the Most High in the spirit realm allowed me to see the true power source is when you can make things happen, doors open, and move people out of your way without lifting a finger. This is what your greater knowing is, Moors. Wake up and learn the art of your ancient rituals. In everything you do, you must incorporate your ancient rituals of protection. Our ancient hidden culture has been robbed from us. This is our power source. How do we create? The Most High Creator created by thought. The moment you think something, the moment you put it in the universe, it has a cause and effect to it. You have to get to this greater knowing. We all must incorporate a holistic approach to everything we do. Before you send out any paperwork, before you put out any filings, incorporate all of your holistic ways of life as your ancestors did. Your ancestors created and ruled the world and didn't have to lift a finger. They used their thought. Ancient magic. And the ancient magic is only calling your ancestors forward to do the work. They are willing participants when we call them out of the ethers. That light, that was good. When we call them out of the ethers to assist us in this time, this is a very critical time. This is cosmic law as well as natural law. We dealing with metaphysical cosmos, and once we get in line with that, I have seen mountains move. Although I have been able, as I stated, I've been out here paving the way for over a decade and nobody knew who I was. But I have been paving the way and doing what my ancestors instruct me to do. But there is one aspect, Moors, we are missing, and this was confirmed from a brother that has studied adeptly the ancient sciences and metaphysics, and confirmed for me that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Honorable Elijah Muhammad were working together, and they knew. It's just that one decided to stay on the Muslim side and one decided to go on the side of the Moors and the Moors knowledge, but they both knew they were Moors, and they knew they had God power. They knew we were gods, and they knew the metaphysics of everything. But guess what? They felt that you all in the 1900s, that are still in the 1900s, in your thought, they knew that you were not ready. Because at that time, we were coming out of the church, and they felt that our people were not ready to grasp the fact that they were two co-creators on this earth, walking as gods and goddesses in their power and in their mind and in their DNA structure. It is not blasphemous to know or say that you are a god or a goddess. It is just a descriptive word. And if I am in the image and the likeness of my Creator, then what am I? The church And most of the religious organizations have stripped your power of independent thought. Each and every one of us can get in line to hear the divine. The Most High, the ancestors, and the guardian beings did not stop making prophets and prophetess. We are always going to have a person of knowing to bring us the word. Each and every one of us has this power. If you do not realize the Prophet Noble Drew Ali wants you to advance and move forward with the modalities in which the time you are in, you will not see the benefits and the light that he wanted you to see. We have to move forward in our greater knowing and not be afraid to think for ourselves. Just because I love and respect and honor the work of the prophet, and as well as every other that has paved the way for us, that does not mean I am not to think for myself and not to receive answers to move forward during this time. If the prophet knew in the early 1900s that we were gods and goddesses, and they have found our ancient scripts to indicate this, and ancient knowledge to indicate this, and they knew metaphysics, he said, I better not find you Moors in the same place that I left you. What does that say? What does that tell you? Wake up, move forward, learn your word that your ancestors left you. I know my word that I was given. Joshua 1:3-6. Be strong and courageous, for you will lead your people back to the land that I promised their ancestors I will give them. So who am I to be afraid of? I'm walking in the image and the likeness, and I'm walking on the word that I was given. And I know that I'm protected. This is what I want you all to know. I have to end this video because the battery is going out. I will come back and reiterate on some things tomorrow I wanted you all to know and see. It's just time for me to impart all of these modalities and knowledges and wisdoms that I have been able to master and move forward and open doors that people thought would never be opened, and gain the respect of these corporate actors. I have emails proving and showing them, thanking me, telling me peace and love to you and your family, when 2 weeks prior to that they had me all over the news. So it is something to be said about the ancestral purpose that we are brought back or chose to come back here for. Incorporate a holistic way of life in everything you do, because when you send them paperwork, when you file or challenge them, you are acting in an act of war. You know, it's an art of war. And so you have to be protected with your armor. Go to your ancestors, create you an altar, call upon them. They're there anyway, but they cannot move forward unless you call upon them out the ethers and command them to work with you and pave the way for you. They are anxiously waiting on us. And these are some of the things that I've come to realize on a daily basis. I've been under spiritual attack when they could not beat me in the court system, and I have many zeros behind my name at different places. They have really tried their best at the spirit realm. That's the next level they go to, is the spirit realm. Now that knowledge is hitting the surface, that they cannot beat us at law, they will go to the next level on you. So we have to know these things prior and be prepared and be proactive for a change. instead of being reactive and trying to get out of their system. We have to institute ways to not get in the system by noticing affidavits, giving them orders, and under seal. You are the landlord of the land. They are on water. They're fiction. They're corporate. They cannot deal with someone on the land. If you interact with them, you giving them power. You are not on an even level playing field. You are the freehold landlords of the land. It's time for you to operate, act, and walk in who and what you are. Come back and learn more on the Imperial lectures and the Imperial language that I have used to open doors and to make demands that they cannot refuse. Peace and love, and I will see you all tomorrow.